On June 21, 2025, at exactly 5:40 p.m., something unthinkable and deemed impossible was performed flawlessly by American forces. In 43 seconds, 30,000 pounds of explosives would crash into an Iranian nuclear facility that was supposedly impossible to destroy, at twice the speed of a Formula One car. The operation is what you get when you combine $2 billion worth of stealth bomber, 15 tons of bunker-busting fury, and the single most choreographed military operation in over 20 years. The preciseness and daringness of this mission begs the question: how did America pull off the most precise military strike in human history without anyone seeing it coming? But this story doesn't start with the explosion, it starts with a lie. 18 hours earlier, Whitman Air Force Base, Missouri. Ground crews swarm around a charcoal gray aircraft that looks like it was designed by aliens who studied geometry textbooks. This is a B-2 Spirit bomber, one of only 19 in existence, each worth $2.1 billion. That's more than the GDP of 30 countries. And tonight, it is about to earn every penny. But what the crew is loading into this aircraft has never been used in combat. The GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator isn't just a bomb, it's a guided earthquake. Each one weighs 30,000 pounds and costs $3.2 million. The warhead alone contains enough explosive to level a city block. But that's not even the scary part. The scary part is what happens when it hits solid rock at 700 miles per hour. It doesn't explode on impact, it keeps drilling. At 0:01, 7 B-2s launch eastward toward Iran, but 7 more head west. But here's the genius. Russian and Chinese satellites tracking westbound bombers report routine deployment to Guam. Meanwhile, the real killers ghost eastward into Atlantic darkness like $14 billion worth of invisible death. But crossing an ocean in a stealth bomber presents one problem that could end everything. B-2s need fuel every 2,000 miles, and Missouri to Iran is 7,100 miles one way. Picture this. You're flying a $2 billion aircraft in total darkness at 35,000 feet. A tanker aircraft extends a rigid boom towards your plane. You must position your aircraft exactly 30 feet behind and 15 feet below, with zero margin for error. And guess what? Both aircraft are traveling at 400 miles per hour. One mistake turns the world's most expensive bomber into a fireball visible from space. The boom operator is literally sweating in sub-zero temperatures as 1,000 pounds of fuel per minute flows between aircraft. It's like threading a needle while riding a mechanical bull in a dark closet, except the needle costs $2 billion and the bull is moving at 400 miles per hour. By 15:30, after 3 death-defying refuelings and 15.5 hours of flight, the strike package approached Iraqi airspace. While Americans dance with death in the sky, something even more dangerous lurks beneath the waves. 1700 hours Eastern Time, Persian Gulf. Captain Sarah Chen stands in USS Georgia's control room, watching countdown timers that represent 154 individual death sentences. This isn't just any submarine. It's a converted nuclear missile sub now carrying the largest concentration of cruise missiles ever deployed by a single platform, carrying more firepower than an entire aircraft carrier battle group. Each Tomahawk Block V costs $2 million, which means the submarine is carrying $308 million worth of precision death. But here's what makes your blood run cold. These missiles can change targets mid-flight, compare what they see with satellite photos, and navigate through buildings like deadly tourists with GPS. At 16:05, the ocean surface erupts like a mechanical volcano. But what happens when you shoot a 3,000-pound missile out of a submerged submarine? Well, Newton's third law tries to crush the submarine. Each Tomahawk sits in a high-pressure canister. Launch command arrives. Explosive charge breaks the seal. Gas pressure literally shoots the missile out like a champagne cork. The submarine lurches downward. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. To combat this, ballast teams work frantically, pumping tons of water between tanks to prevent the submarine from either surfacing, revealing itself to every radar within 50 miles, or plunging beyond crush depth. It's controlled violence that could kill everyone on board. By 16:06, 30 missiles streak toward Iran at 550 miles per hour, flying 100 feet above ground to avoid detection. But the most terrifying part of tonight's operation is still 6,000 feet above the bombers, 125 American aircraft, the largest strike package in 20 years. 4 F-22 Raptors materialize from empty sky like technological ghosts. Each aircraft costs $150 million and represents evolutionary perfection in air-to-air combat. Behind them, 8 F-35s, 3 dozen FA-18 Super Hornets, and 4 EA-18G Growlers carrying electronic warfare equipment that can black out entire cities. F-35s find targets, Super Hornets kill them, F-22s clear the skies. The Iranian Air Force is about to discover why challenging American air power is still a terrible idea. 1732. The electronic war begins. EA-18G Growlers begin their symphony of deception, pumping 30 kilowatts of jamming power across multiple bands simultaneously. Iranian radar screens flood with phantom aircraft appearing and disappearing, ranges shifting randomly, bearings that bend like fever dreams. Then, one Iranian S-300 battery makes a fatal mistake by turning on its radar, trying to burn through American jamming. Within 0.3 seconds, 3 American aircraft detected simultaneously. The F-35's passive sensors lock target location. The Super Hornet receives data via Link 16 and launches harm. Then, the Growler begins reactive jamming. In 2.4 seconds, the harm missile launches. The AGM-88G accelerates to Mach 2.5. Its millimeter wave seeker memorizing the radar's exact location. Iranian operators realize their mistake and shut down, but physics doesn't care about regret. 15 seconds later, $100 million worth of Russian air defense becomes $100 million worth of twisted metal. By choice, every surviving Iranian radar goes silent. With the electronic battlefield dominated, it's time for the main event. 1740 Eastern Time. 45,000 feet above Iran. Bomb bay doors open on the lead B-2. Weapons Systems Officer Captain Mike Rodriguez watches his display as the first GBU-57 achieves GPS lock. 14 satellites confirm position. Wind calculations complete. Target coordinates verified. Weapon away. Good separation. GPS lock confirmed. The pilot feels the aircraft jump as losing a mass equivalent to 3 fully loaded SUVs creates a distinctive sensation that every B-2 pilot knows. But here's the terrifying mathematics. Kinetic energy equals 1/2 mv squared. At 700 miles per hour impact velocity, this creates 1.5 billion joules of energy. That's an equivalent to 358 kilograms of TNT hitting a single point. 43, 42, 41. The hardened steel penetrator screams through Iranian airspace. 1740-43. Impact. Ground zero. 200 feet beneath Fordo nuclear facility. The hardened steel penetrator, forged from the same alloys protecting main battle tanks, punches through reinforced concrete like a bullet through paper. But unlike Hollywood explosions, this weapon doesn't detonate on impact. The smart fuse counts floors. Concrete, more concrete, granite, still granite. The goal? Detonation occurring at maximum effectiveness depth. At exactly 180 feet underground, 5,300 pounds of tritonal explosive creates a cavity 30 feet in diameter. The overpressure wave travels through solid rock at 15,000 feet per second, faster than sound in air, finding every structural weakness. This automatically creates an engineering nightmare. What happens when concrete rated for 10,000 psi meets 100,000 plus psi overpressure? It doesn't crack, it turns to dust. But one MOP is just the opening act. 12 MOPs would hit the base, creating overlapping shock waves. Each subsequent impact is timed to maximize destructive interference. The mountain's own strength becomes its weakness as shock waves bounce between granite walls, creating resonance patterns that tear apart century-old geological formations. This creates a local earthquake that registers 2.3 on the Richter scale. At the same time, 700 miles away, the Tomahawks are writing their own chapter of destruction. 1905 Eastern Time. Isfahan Nuclear Facility. Final approach. 30 cruise missiles converge on target. Each missile's Williams F-107 turbofan produces a distinctive whine at 550 miles per hour. Night shift workers hear them coming, a sound like mechanical banshees announcing Judgment Day. Point defense systems have less than 49 seconds from detection to impact. The explosion doesn't just destroy, it creates a toxic cloud of aerosolized uranium compounds that makes the entire facility uninhabitable. It's environmental warfare that wasn't planned but couldn't be more effective. 29 more missiles would follow over 45 seconds, with each targeting specific buildings identified through years of satellite surveillance and human intelligence. Centrifuge halls, enrichment cascades, heavy water facilities. Everything that took Iran 15 years to build disappears in less than 1 minute. 17:41:25 Eastern Time. Final statistics. Total time over target, 25 minutes. Iranian missiles launched, 0. Iranian fighters airborne, 0. American aircraft lost, 0. The B-2s banked toward home, their bomb bays empty, but their mission complete. Fuel calculations show exactly what planners predicted, enough JP-8 to reach tankers with regulation safety margins. But the real victory wasn't measured in explosions. Iran's nuclear program just got reset to square one. 3 facilities that represented 15 years of work, billions of dollars in investment, and Iran's pathway to nuclear weapons lay in smoking ruins. More importantly, the message was unmistakably clear. American military technology had evolved beyond Iran's ability to defend against it. In 43 seconds of freefall and 25 minutes of coordinated destruction, the United States military did what 7 previous administrations couldn't accomplish through diplomacy, sanctions, or threats. The night Iran learned that some mountains aren't tall enough, some bunkers aren't deep enough, and some secrets aren't hidden well enough to escape American precision when diplomacy fails. Sometimes the most effective peace negotiations are conducted at 700 miles per hour from 45,000 feet. What did you think of Operation Midnight Hammer? Could any other military on Earth coordinate something this complex and precise? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more incredible displays of military technology, check out how one drone sank Russia's most advanced warship, because precision death comes in all sizes.